Revisiting Ovid, New Yorker writer Tolentino. Photograph, Elena Mudd. She's defending millennials against charges of fragility, and I'm with her in her enthusiasm for the more acute perceptions of this generation. In a superb 2018 New Yorker piece, millennial feminist Tolentino revisits Ovid in the wake of the 2018 hearing for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, because she feels a shameful, increasing desire to stop running, to find some way to be impassive and serene, like those women turned into lakes and trees. If younger readers like Tolentino and Beard's students recognize that Metamorphoses is full of rape, then it is because of groundwork laid by older readers, writers and dissidents. Whether or not we stand on the shoulders of giants, we stroll on the topsoil into which the past has decomposed, and some seeds planted then are sprouting, and even blooming, now. There was so much we couldn't talk about then, and still some aspects and consequences we haven't yet talked about enough. Recently I wrote a book about those things, recollections of my non-existence, about the muteness of my formative years. Because nothing I could say seemed to mean no in any effectual way to the men who harassed and menaced me, nothing I could do made them desist, and speaking up seemed likely to make things worse. What I wanted, for starters, was someone to shout, with me, that this was absolutely wrong. I wanted someone to ask questions with me about how we change it all, and why we must. I had experiences that are still common. Last summer, my friend's teenage daughter had a man threaten to kill her when she responded defiantly to his harassment, the kind of thing that happened to me, over and over, in my youth. It's so ordinary, and there's so much of it. The past several years have been an extraordinary collaborative exhumation and reinvention of women's experience, and one in which the old have learned from the young at least as much as the opposite. I still think the conversation is far from complete. But I'm glad it's begun. When people suggest feminism has somehow been a failure, I like to hark back to the world I was born into, the world that made my mother so full of suppressed fury, the world in which women were, by law and custom, so much more deeply unequal. Marriage laws in the US, the UK, and many other countries defined wives as property of a sort, or chattel, or pets, whose bodies husbands had the right to rape and beat, and whose choices husbands controlled, from financial to medical decisions. Women were excluded from nearly all positions of economic, legal, social, educational and governmental power, and the language to even describe phenomena such as workplace sexual harassment as something serious and illicit did not exist. I could go on, but I'll stop, after referencing how routine was the denigration of women as subjective, unreliable, incompetent creatures, undermining the foundation to participate and even to object. Not that that bit is over, but at least we've been pointing it out for half a century.